stop scrolling. Because what I'm about to tell you still feels unreal to me. 2 weeks ago, I found out my dad has another family. Not an affair. Not a one-time mistake. An entire second life. And the worst part? He's been living it for 10 years. My parents have been married for 28 years. They met in college. Everyone always said they were the perfect couple. No big fights. No weird drama. No signs that anything was wrong. My dad worked as an accountant. Very quiet guy. Very routine. He left the house at 8 a.m. every morning. Came back around 6 p.m. We had dinner. Watched TV. Normal life. Or at least, that's what I thought. Last week I needed to finish an important project for work. My laptop broke. So I asked my dad if I could borrow his. He said yes and left it on the kitchen table. Everything was normal, until his phone lit up next to me. A message appeared on the screen. The name was Emma, and next to it, a red heart. I remember thinking, that's weird, because my mom's name isn't Emma. The message preview said, "Are you still coming tonight? The kids miss you." Kids. Plural. That word made my stomach twist. Because I'm an only child. At first, I told myself I was overthinking. Maybe it was work. Maybe he helped someone with babysitting. Maybe it was a joke. But curiosity won. And I opened the message. That decision changed everything the moment I opened the chat. I felt my heart start racing. There were hundreds of messages, photos, videos, voice notes. But the thing that shocked me the most was how normal everything looked. Dinner pictures, school events, birthday parties, family vacations. My dad was in almost every single photo, standing next to the same woman, holding 2 kids, smiling like the happiest man in the world. I kept scrolling, and then I saw something that made my hands shake. One of the photos was taken exactly 1 year ago. I recognized the restaurant instantly, because that night was my birthday dinner. My parents took me there to celebrate. But in this photo, my dad was sitting at the same restaurant, at a different table, with that woman, and the kids. That means he left my birthday and went straight to them. I felt sick. I couldn't breathe. For 10 years, my dad had been living 2 completely different lives, and neither family knew the other existed. At least, that's what I thought. That night, I barely slept. My brain kept replaying the photos, the messages, the word kids. So the next evening, I decided to follow him. At 7 p.m., my dad grabbed his keys and left the house. Just like any normal night. I waited 5 minutes. Then I got in my car and followed him. He drove across the city, through neighborhoods I had never even been to. After about 30 minutes, he pulled up in front of a small house. Nothing fancy. Just a quiet street with a few parked cars. He turned off the engine and walked to the front door. Then it opened. 2 kids ran outside and screamed, "Dad!" They hugged him like they hadn't seen him in years. My chest felt like it collapsed, because that wasn't a secret relationship. That was a real family. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, and a boy who looked around 10. Then the woman from the photos appeared in the doorway. She smiled, walked over, and kissed him, like they were married, like this was normal, like this had been their life for years. I sat in my car across the street, completely frozen. I should have left. I should have driven home. But I couldn't move. For the next hour, I watched through the living room window. They ate dinner together. They laughed. The kids showed him something on a tablet. At one point, the little girl climbed into his lap, and he hugged her. Exactly the same way he used to hug me when I was a kid. And that's when something strange happened. I realized something I never expected. He looked happier here, relaxed, comfortable. Like this was where he truly belonged. Not at home with us. Eventually, I started the car. I didn't want to see anymore. But right before I drove away, something happened that made everything even worse. The boy pointed at my dad and asked him something. I couldn't hear it, but I could read his lips. He said, "Are you visiting your other son tomorrow?" Other son. That's when it hit me. In their world, I wasn't his real family. I was the secret. I drove home in complete silence. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Because suddenly everything made sense. The late nights, the random business trips, the times he missed birthdays, school events, family holidays. He wasn't working. He was with them, living his other life. When I got home, my mom was watching TV like always. She smiled and asked how my day was. And in that moment, I realized something heartbreaking. She had no idea. None. For 28 years, she believed she had a loyal husband, a normal life, a stable family. And I was sitting there, holding a secret that could destroy everything. That night, I couldn't sleep again. I kept asking myself the same question. Do I tell her? Or do I pretend none of this ever happened? But the next morning, something happened. That made the decision for me. While my mom was making coffee, my dad's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. A new message. From Emma. And my mom saw the notification. She picked up the phone, looked at the name, and said something that made my stomach drop. "Who's Emma?" My dad froze. For the first time in my life, I saw genuine fear on his face, and I realized something terrifying. The truth was about to come out, and when it did, 2 entire families were about to explode.